Can someone tell me where Meghan McCain gets the idea that she represents the average redneck in the middle of the country, in the south of the country? Because the girl grew with a golden spoon in her mouth. It's like Chet Hayes, how he's trying to become a rapper and how he's trying to talk like he's from the hood when his father is Mr. Forrest Gump, when his father is Mr. Beverly Hills, Tom Hanks. Like, it's just, it really does not make sense. And so I think it's an essence of trying to include yourself in a society because your father, famous person, is something that you can never live upon. So you got to find your own lane, and the lane that Meghan McCain is trying to be in is not really her own lane. Hi, welcome to JOA. If you're new to my channel, please click subscribe and click the bell button so you'll be the first to know when I upload. I'd really appreciate it if you do subscribe and do click the bell. I told y'all I have merchandise. It's below this video, teespring.com/stores/get-JOA. That does help my channel if you do decide to purchase something. I mean, y'all asked me how to help. This is how to help, all right? So the icebreaker question is, are you going to buy merch from JOA? So I want you guys to watch this clip of Ana Navarro basically just kind of like educating Meghan McCain on being a principled Republican over a Neanderthal Party Republican.
Let me ask you this. Isn't this manufactured outrage, or is this a real problem, Meghan?
You know, I actually don't think this is manufactured. I think, unfortunately, the problem is if you're President Biden, you have said that this is going to be the soul of the nation is going to come back. We're going to have a complete and utter paradigm shift. Angels are going to come down from the sky, and there's going to be nothing but unity in the country. It really reminds me of Hillary Clinton's deplorable comment, which I think a lot of people on the left wrote off, and it really did end up hurting her. And I think, unfortunately, it's a self-inflicted wound. You guys can laugh and say, oh, it's a joke, whatever, but Republicans across the country already feel like people on the left think they're dumb rednecks. They're just stupid deplorables in baskets. Nobody cares with their trucks and their flags. That's what Republicans think the media thinks of them. So I was actually surprised to hear him throw around that language. I also think he's got much bigger problems right now, including the fact that he hasn't had one press conference yet. He's actually the first president in 100 years not to do a press conference in the first 23 days. President Trump did, or I'm sorry, first 100 days. President Trump did, Obama did in the first 20 days, and President Trump did in 27 days. So I think this just doesn't help. And I think when you have Jen Psaki sort of blowing off Republican questions and Republican talking points, all it does is going to help Republicans be more tribal and think that we're just deplorable Neanderthals. The left has no place for us. So there's no unity whatsoever. And I think it's really unfortunate. I don't like it at all.
I think that the deplorables word came before Trump, before we knew how deplorable he was. So in reaction to Trump, nothing sounds that bad because of how bad he was. And he might have had a conference, you know, his press conference right away, but then when he dropped out, we never saw him again. He was afraid to take calls. He would do it on the tarmac at airports. And Joe Biden has also accomplished a lot of things in a very short time.
But it was President Trump doing one-on-one interviews with the press corps, which President Biden has not done. In fact, he has a video that's gone viral saying that we're waiting to talk to the press, and then it just goes to a gray screen. There's confusion about why he won't stand in front of the press corps right now. I will say also, President Trump called the gang group MS-13 animals, and the media jumped all over it for weeks. I have no problem calling vicious gang members animals, and that was something the media just took and ran with. And I think that if it's not okay to call gang members animals, but it's okay to call Republicans who, you know, are in the middle of the country Neanderthals, it just seems like a lot of hypocrisy.
No. But let's remember what you're saying there and what was just corrected. He didn't call people Neanderthals. He said it was Neanderthal thinking. Okay, we'll be right back.
Potato.
Anna will wait.
Look, my apologies to the Geico caveman, but I think this is one of the most ridiculous subjects I've ever spoken about on TV. And after the last 4 years, that's a very high bar. It would have been nice if Republicans had taken the same offense to Donald Trump attacking real live people, like a disabled reporter, or calling black athletes sons of bitches, as they have to an extinct subspecies that existed 400,000 to 40,000 2,000 years ago. I think they've spent the whole week screaming and clutching their pearls about Mr. Potato Head wearing a purse, about Dr. Seuss, and now about Neanderthals. If they want to be known as the Neanderthal Party, have at it. Sounds like a great slogan. I think it's gaslighting, and it's a distraction from the fact that right now the FBI is investigating communications between legislators and rioters on January 6th, that they have 2 sexual harassers in their new freshman class, Madison Cawthorn and Ronnie Jackson, who've been accused of doing horrible things to women and doing horrible things in general. I think it's absurd for senators to be going on TV and tweeting about Neanderthals when we are in the middle of voting of the COVID-19 relief bill and unemployment benefits, and those benefits run out in 9 days. So, you know, I really am sorry to the pill-down man, but I'd rather focus on the here and now and today. This is faux outrage.
Well, we've talked a lot about Governor Cuomo on this show, and everybody knows that we're mostly to the center left here, except for a couple of people. And I don't see that there's the same outrage about Cawthorn and Jackson going on. I haven't heard any Republicans, well, on certainly not on the channels that I watch. Maybe they don't want to go on those channels. Is that your read too, Anna? What do you say to that?
Can I respond?
I think it's awful that the North Carolina Republican Party decided to censure Richard Burr for voting his conscience on impeachment, but remain silent on Madison Cawthorn, who is not only accused of driving women to rural areas and then coming on to them and sexually harassing them, but is also accused of being a pathological liar when it comes to his resume and his career. Pretended he was left before dead at a car accident when he swore under oath that was not the case. Pretend that he had not gone to the Naval Academy because of that car accident, when in fact he had been rejected from the Naval Academy. So I don't understand how we're not talking about Ronnie Jackson, who was accused of getting drunk and taking narcotics and also being a sexual harasser. But we're talking about Neanderthals, Mr. Potato Head, wearing lipstick, and Dr. Seuss. I got other priorities.
And Megan, you want to weigh in on this?
Yeah, I think we can walk and chew gum at the same time. I think that we can have conversations about Dr. Seuss. And by the way, Dr. Seuss is no longer going to be allowed to be sold on eBay. Like, we can have conversations about cancel culture, and we can have conversations about what I perceive to be toxic rhetoric. And I'm surprised, Anna, you're a Republican. Aren't you offended that we're considered Neanderthals? I am. I think it's okay. And also, in regards to Madison Cawthorn, I agree. I think that they're, in the same way, all sexual allegations against any woman should be taken seriously. I am too surprised that all the allegations against him haven't gotten more media attention, simply because he is one of these young first-term rank-and-file congressmen that is getting so much attention. But in regards to the sexual allegations, he should be investigated. In regards to the fact that he does seem to have a serious issue with telling the truth one way or another, a friend of his who was in the car accident that paralyzed him is saying that he's lying about the situation in which it happened. And in regard to the Naval Academy, I don't need to tell everybody about my family's relationship to the Naval Academy. I just visited my dad weekend before last with my brother at the Naval Academy. I take great offense at the idea that he's lying about getting into what I consider the most premier institution in the country. So I am the Republican saying Madison Cawthorn should be able to the...
Yeah.
So what I like about Ana Navarro in politics is that she didn't sell her soul. You guys know that the Trump administration tried to get her fired on CNN for the past 4 years for speaking her truth, for not selling her soul, for being country over party. And of course, Van Jones just decided to leech off of the presidency after Jared Kushner, Lord Voldemort, talked to the CNN execs to get him fired. So he kissed ass, and now he's with the Trump administration. He's a flip-flopper. But Ana Navarro stuck to her roots, stuck to her guns, and I like that. And so Meghan McCain's talking point about Dr. Seuss books not going to be sold on eBay is only one out of 6 books that's going to be taken off from the market from eBay. And so I personally think that this whole Dr. Seuss conversation is a waste of time. If we want to get on racist books, we can name other books that's been included in the history of elementary, middle school, high school. We can talk about the Mark Twains and the Tom Sawyers and whatnot, but to me, that's a waste of time. Right now, what we need to focus on is getting this $1.9 trillion COVID relief bill out. We need to focus on getting people back to work. We need to focus on some kids not being in school, and they need to be in school. And we need to focus on stop politicizing this vaccine and get people that need to be vaccinated, and get to people that need to believe in the mask, and just stop politicizing it. You know, I blame this Trump administration for politicizing the mask, and just this past 4 years really reminded me of high school intake about who's the popular person, and taking the lead of the popular person and being a follower. That's Trump is a lame duck, and that whole mentality of high schoolism to me is lame. You know, it's like a clique, and so you're gonna follow the popular crowd even though when they're wrong. And the idea of, I don't know why. I don't want to see why Trump is considered a role model to some of these people. Some people don't have their own minds. Me personally, I'm registered as a non-political person. I'm apolitical at the moment, although I'm going to be independent soon. But so I just really don't understand why people just won't wear a damn mask and just get over the fact that we have to wear masks throughout 2022, according to Dr. Fauci, and just suck it up. So Meghan McCain knew not to try Ana Navarro. Ana Navarro just really didn't give her the time of day when Meghan just said, well, Ana, you are a Republican. You know, are you not offended by this? I am. So she knew not to test Ana Navarro's party and saying you're not a Republican, because Ana Navarro would have got on that ASS and got her together on national television like she's done several times. So, of course, at the end of the clip, Meghan McCain just said, as a Republican, I am offended about what Marsha Blackburn said, and so on and so forth. But yet before that, you wanted to rebut Joe Biden and simply state something that he didn't say. He said it's Neanderthal thinking, and if the shoe fits, then wear it. Yes, the Republican Party has been a problem with this whole mask situation. And I don't like Joe Biden. I personally find him basic. I don't think he's capable of being president. That's just how I feel. I find it annoying the way he speaks. I just don't like him at all. To me, he's inauthentic, and I really just was very cringy just watching that video today on The View. I don't like him. I just don't. And, you know, of course, I don't like Trump either. I just don't like the options that we have been given over the past over 4 years now. You know what I mean? So it's just like he just makes me want to throw up. I just don't like him at all. But anyways, let me know what you think in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe and click the bell so you'll be the first to know when I upload. Hit me up on my Instagram page, JOA_media. Check out my merch as well below this video. Thank you. Deuces. Yay!